cousins, welcome back to yet another episode right here live from the headquarters. I am super duper excited to be back on here sharing my nail journey with y'all, one video at a time. And yes, we are continuing the Polygel nail series. If you don't know, then now you do, that I have been releasing non-stop tutorials on my YouTube. I already have the Polygel shape and prep video out, the Polygel application video out. Now we're moving on to the third part of the segment, which is filing. I will only delve into the facts about filing for this episode. Again, if you want to see Polygel shape and prep, that video is already out separately, and the application video is already out separately. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on my post notifications so you get notified when I post. And if you haven't already, be sure to follow me on all other platforms. Moving on. Now, for the filing of Polygel, I will be using both the hand file and the e-file. My e-file is the Air-C e-file, which can be found linked to my Amazon storefront. The link for that is in the description. And I will be using a 240 sanding band. As for my hand file, I purchased that from Sally, the beauty supply store, and it is 100 by 180 grit. And I love it. It gets the job done. So yeah, that's that. Now my e-file does not come with any kind of numbers, so I cannot provide you with an RPM. Just wanted to make that clear before we get started, because I get a lot of questions about what speed are you using. And with that e-file, I really can't tell you a direct number as far as like RPM, but yeah. Now the Polygel is already cured, so it's now in a hard form and it is ready to be filed. I am going in and just following the shape guidelines, and I'm just going and filing the nail with the hand file. I have always said that the hand file is a lot more controlled than the e-file is. I mean, you can use the e-file on a more like lower speed, but that e-file is still moving faster than your hand is. And with the e-file, too fast, too quick. Versus with the hand file, it's more of a stop and go motion at your own speed. So as you can see, I'm going in and I'm just filing the sides. I'm filing a little bit across the structure on the top, but I'm just mainly filing at the sides. I have my fingers in place as guards, not to take that file too much up on the sides where the skin is at, but we're just going in making sure the sides are crispy and at an even angle. Filing is not that much. It is not that hard, and the reason it's not that hard is because the application is smooth. The application process went well. So that is why I encourage everybody to work on the previous step, and that is why I have it broke down like each individual segment, because what you don't understand is like the application plays a big part into filing. All I'm doing now with me filing this structure is I'm just cleaning it up and evening it out. That's it. I don't really have to do too much, because when I did my prep, I had already pre-shaped the tips. When I did application, the application process went smooth, and I laid that Polygel directly in line with the shaping. So now when I'm filing, all I'm doing is just really cleaning it up. That's it. We hitting the sides a little bit. I'm just filing across the top of the structure just to really give it that smooth finish. Not too much where it will affect the apex, but just enough to really give it that smooth look. Same thing with all shapes. I'm just going in with my hand file. And I can go ahead and tell you with this file, the side that has the writing on it is the smoother side, which is the 180. When it comes to grits and it comes to number of grit, anything like from 180, 240 and on up, those are the smoother grits. Anything from like a 150, 120, 100, those are almost coarse. But I mean, they're medium. They're like a medium coarse, if that makes sense. Now, 80, and they even have like the 60 grits. Those are really coarse grits. But 100 is in the middle. 120 to me, it's in the middle. 150 is in the middle. And then you have 180 and 240. Those are more smoother. Just my personal opinion. When it comes to filing, like when I do the e-file, I only use the 240 sanding band to really give it that smooth finish. And for the hand file, I always use the 100 by 180 grit. Those are my go-to. So we moved on to the lipstick shape. And again, it's nothing but me just hitting the sides. I'm just going to file at the end, because as you can see, that end has an angle on it. So I just want to make sure that end is very straight. And I just want to go in and file a little bit on the structure. Not too much, just a little bit. I do realize that I get a lot of new people in daily, and a lot of people really haven't been here since I started doing this entire journey. So if you are new here, I am Kay, And this is the headquarters. Like if you're here from TikTok, if you're here from Instagram, if you just so happen to stumble across this video from your recommended, that's fine. And I am happy to have you. And I love you. Seriously. Here at the headquarters, I only just share my knowledge. I share what I know. And we are here learning together. So whether you're really interested in doing nails or you just stopping by just to see what it's talking about, I thank you. And we are in this together. I do not know everything, but what I do know, I try to just share that. And hopefully that helps somebody somewhere along in their journey. So yeah, that's what I'm all about. I did like this thing on Instagram where I was like, I hit 10K on YouTube, but we recently hit 11K and the numbers are still growing. And I'm just like, wow, really? Like, really? This is my life. So yeah, that's that. I love you all and I thank you all. And again, I don't know everything, but I hope what I am saying is registering and this has helped somebody. So yeah. Now, moving on from hand filing, we are going to go in with the e-file. Again, this pink little band is a 240 sanding band. It's one of the smoothest. And I've already done some filing with the hand file. I'm just going to lightly go in with my e-file. Now, again, I cannot provide an RPM. And I know I feel like, damn, she repeat herself so much, but you have to because the stuff that I be saying, I'll say it one time and somebody will ask me like, so, Kay, what RPM are you using? I'm just like, cousin, I just said I can't give you an RPM. So I have to repeat myself a lot. And again, I do get a lot of new people in. So a lot of people don't really go back and watch and look and see what I said like 2 weeks ago about it. So I have to repeat that because I'm always growing. So yeah. Anyway, we're going in with the e-file and I am just lightly brushing up on the shape and on the structure. I am using about a low mid speed. I'm not going super fast because with this e-file, I don't really want to chip away at what I've already built when I did the application as far as the structure. We have the apex in place. The nail is at the right thickness. Everything is lined up. I don't want to take away from that. So I just want to lightly go in and just file at the structure. So I'm using about a low mid speed. I'm taking time to like, when I file, I go in like this circular little motion and then I just lift it off. And then I say, okay, do some on this side, do some on the other side. Show no favoritism when you're filing. What you do to one side, please do to the other because it will show when you start to lay your designs down. You'll say, dang, I was so focused on this side. This side over here is still a little lumpy and it still look a little lopsided. And you're like, damn, I should have filed more on that side. So make sure you just go on even and breaking it even. As for sealing the cuticles, I'm just going around in this circular motion, just really getting up there in that area. Be careful not to overdo it and overextend. Even though the cuticle is dead skin, if the cuticle is too much disturbed, that can lead to a whole host of other things. And again, that eponychium, which is the live skin, sits directly behind the cuticle area. So you don't want to overdo it because now you've opened up a whole new can of worms. And a lot of people don't know this, but sealing the cuticle does not start with filing. Sealing the cuticle actually starts with how you lay the product at the cuticle area. When you're doing application, you want to make sure you lay any product that you're using flush and flat to the nail. So when you go in with that sanding band or whatever you're using, all you got to do is just lightly go around there to really just get in there and make sure it's flat. Yeah, and that's really it. For this tutorial, I'm really just giving out like pointers. I'm really trying to refrain from having to repeat the same stuff over and over because it's really the same. It's just different nail shapes. So yeah, just tips and tricks and my personal opinion. And I'm not saying any of this works. I would not say, oh, this is the way to go. It's tons and hundreds and thousands and millions of different methods to get stuff done. And you may realize that this one does not work, and that's fine. That's fine. No love lost. That's fine. But then again, somebody else may realize that this works and this is what they have been needing. So yeah, here it is. Going in on the lipstick nail and same thing. I've already filed with the hand file. Now I'm just going in lightly filing at the structure with the e-file. Being sure that I'm eyeballing it, keeping my hands in place as guards on the sides of the nails. Just in case that e-file decides to get out of control. Which it shouldn't because it's literally on a low setting, but still you just got to be mindful because you never know. Going in right here across the free edge and I'm just straightening that up, straightening it out. And yeah, that's really it. I I have been getting a lot of comments for me to explain Gel X, acrylic, and polygel. The difference, I only use acrylic and polygel here at the headquarters. I can't really give an explanation for Gel X as of yet because I have never ever used Gel X. Not saying that I won't in the future, but as of right now, as it stands, I have not used any Gel X products. I don't know anything about Gel X, so I can't really tell you the difference between all three. I can only really tell you the difference between acrylic and polygel. And if you watch through both segments, like both series, the acrylic series and the polygel series all the way, then I explain the differences. One major difference between acrylic and polygel, with like polygel, you have brands that don't soak off at all. As far as acrylic, all acrylic soaks, but with certain like polygel brands, some of it is acetone resistant, which it's not going to soak off, and you have to file it off. As far as another difference, like the prep with polygel, I've said this before, you use the base coat when you're doing the prep after you prime and dehydrate. And with acrylic, of course, there is no base coat. You can just go straight into application after you do the primer and dehydrating. And the application process, of course acrylic will set on its own. It doesn't need like to be cured or anything. And then with the polygel, you have to cure it in order for it to harden up. That's really it as far as differences. I still file, shape, and design the same way. Last but not least, we are going to go in right here with the e-file on the duck nail, and we're just going to file. Now, I know in the application segment, I did give a breakdown of all the different polygels that I have used. And if you have not seen that, I did give a breakdown of all the different polygels that I have used. So all of these are not by the same brand. I went in and did different shapes, and I did different brands. But with all these brands, all of them can be filed the same way. There is no special trick when it comes to one brand or special situation when it comes to the other brand. Like, all of them can be filed the same way. They just have different consistencies, if that makes sense. Like, one brand may be runnier than the other brand may be stickier than the other one, stuff like that. But other than that, that's really it. Still going in right here, filing this duck tip nail, and honestly, to really give it that smooth finish, that way one side does not have all the lumps and the bumps. I really do like this side to side kind of situation. Like, I start at the free edge, as you can see, and then I just kind of go side to side and work my way up. That way it can kind of smooth itself out. I hope that makes sense. Look at how good these nails are filed. Oh my God, they look so good. This is great. This is absolutely great. Okay? Seriously. Like, I am just in love with the smoothness. Like, look at that. So I did get a question the other day. Like, it was like, why after I filed my polygel still look ashy? And I'm just like, just spray a little alcohol after you get done. Of course, every time you use that file, it's not only going to make the nails ashy, but it might make you ashy. So just spray a little alcohol, go in and scrub all that dust off, just give it a little alcohol. Alcohol ain't gonna hurt. It's cured, so it's good. Then after you spray the alcohol, you can go in with acetone and just take one of those small little nail wipes. And you don't want to just submerge the nail in acetone, but you can just go over the base and just give it a wipe, as I would with acrylic. You could just give the base a wipe, and it should get rid of all that ashiness and give you like a smooth finish. And of course, you don't have to do this. I mean, the ash will go away once you apply top coat, but if you're just a person who wants to see that smooth base, then you can go over the polygel nail with acetone, and it will give you that smooth base and that smooth structure. So yeah, hope that helps. Here is the entire finished product for the filing segment. I absolutely love how these nails look, and yeah, I am excited. I'm excited. Now, this concludes the main parts of the segment, like the application, filing, and prep. Those are the main parts, but this is not the end of the polygel nail series. I next will be dropping a design tutorial. I'll be doing some designs for y'all on here so y'all can see my design process and how I work as a freestyle nail artist. So yeah, if you have not subscribed, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment so I can continue to reach more people, and turn on my post notifications so you don't miss nothing when I post. Like, seriously. Other than that, yeah. Again, if you haven't already, please be sure to go and check out the shape and prep polygel video and also the application tutorial. A lot of questions that you may have already been answered in those particular segments. So if you are interested, go and check that out. Feel free to sound off in the comments about any and everything. I am all ears. Even if you have any tips or any suggestions or anything you want to know, feel free to drop it in the comments. I will do my best to respond if I have an answer. Other than that, I thank you all. I love you all. And yeah, that's it. That's all, cousins.